my buttons are normally over here, but actually they're over here now. So we got 3 minutes and 13 seconds, 12 seconds, 11 seconds, 10 seconds before we get started here. So feel free to ask questions. We are going to take a look at the Stream Decks. We got some Stream Decks here. I got these two that are hooked up to this machine, and then this one's actually hooked up to this machine right here. So, and as you can see, I'll watch this. I'll hit this button. Boom. Changing the tabs. Changing the tabs. So let's full screen that. Like that. Do that. And I can even refresh the screen. Those are the two buttons I have. Yeah, let's stop sliding. Suppose it would help if I took that film off. There we go. There we go. Look at that. Hoot and holler. Found a hoot and holler. So we're at 2:11. Let's go ahead and suppose I didn't add a title. There we go. Now, see, when I do things right, things are done right. I'm just saying. So, all right, we're gonna go live here. We're gonna do that in 3, 2, 1. Welcome to my friends over at AM's channel, and I think I got everything. Oh, we got one more. We're gonna set up our stream. Let's configure your stream deck. So welcome everybody. Feel free to ask questions in the William Chatner. Because William is here to take care of your chat needs. So, and Jeffrey Powers from Geekazine, Think Magazine, put in a geek, and you got one today. We're going to do that. Let's say hello, unmute, and say hi. Don't forget to follow. Boom, and then we'll go ahead and refresh that page so that shows up. Yes. 40 seconds before we go. Feel free to come in and say hi. We're going to talk about the Stream Deck. We've got the Stream Decks here, and we're ready to go. So if you're over on Amazon.com/shop/Geekazine, go over to the William Chatner. If you're on the other streams, go over to the William Chatner and chat away. Ask your questions, talk your comments, and then feel free to follow the button. Follow the button, wherever it may roam. Follow. Let's hear how I sound. I got no more music. Here's the music. We'll stop the music now. All right, perfect. Here we go. Let's get going. Let's get into your Geek Tech Talk for today. Make sure everything is on. All right, perfect. What's up, my geeks? Jeffrey Powers here from Geekazine, Think Magazine. Put in a geek, you got moi. That's me. I hope you guys are having a great day. It's Friday. Everybody loves the Friday. I don't know the song, the Rebecca Black song. I've never heard the Rebecca Black song. I just know the It's Friday part. That's it. And I'm not planning to listen to the Rebecca Black song. I'll listen to any other song. Not the Rebecca Black song. I don't know why. I just don't want to do it. I know how to bring the dogs out. I know how to turn on the catwalk. I know how to want you back. I know how to put a ring on it. I just don't want to. No Friday. Just don't want to do it. So, hey, if this is the first time that you've come to the show, thank you. Thank you. Did I say thank you? I meant thank you. Thank you very much. I hope you guys are having a great Friday. Great Friday. And if so, please say hi over in the William Shatner, and we will chatinate about it. So today we're going to be talking about the Stream Deck, the Stream Deck, the Stream Deck, the Stream Deck, whatever the direct deck of the Stream. We've got the Stream Deck. We've got the 32-button Stream Deck. We got the 15-button. This is the older Stream Deck. And this is the newer Stream Deck. Now, these two Stream Decks are connected to my main computer. And then this third Stream Deck is actually connected to this computer. So I can do things like tab between different windows. So as you can see, very, very useful. And it does other things as well. If you were watching on the pre-show, I was playing some music. I hit this button and I played a little bit of music. You can share, you can have a full soundboard from there, or you can switch between cameras. You saw me do that over on this shot right here. So I'm going to bring my video in. There I am. And then I'm going to bring it out and then go from there. So let me just do this. And there we go. So if this is the first time, if you don't know where you're going, what you're doing, this is where you go on Amazon.com/shop/Geekazine. That's where you go to find me and the whole page. Here I am. This is everything you need to know from Geekazine, including the video that we're talking about right now and all the links that I'm going to talk about. Underneath it, we got photos, a lot of the stuff that I've been talking about and unboxing and all that other good stuff. There's the Stream Decks that I was just pointing out, the two 15-button ones. And then underneath it, we got some video on products that I've been working with. And then underneath it, we've got a whole bunch of links, little categories. You want to start to live stream, go ahead and hit this. Go to the New Gear Unboxings to find out what I unboxed. Yesterday, I unboxed the UM300 from Movo, which is sitting on the floor. I don't want to grab it. It's too far down. But we did a first test of that USB microphone and a lot more. We got some Halloween geekery. This is Halloween's coming up very soon, so definitely check that out. And then you can find that. We'll definitely do a list of Halloween stuff to put up in. I'm going to put it up in the studio as we go. And yeah, go from there. So if you have any questions, remember there's the William Shatners over there. Go ahead and chat away in the William. William will respond to you. And when I say William, I kind of mean me. So we'll just leave it at that. So, all right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, you've probably heard about this. You probably heard about the Stream Deck. It's this multi-functional button, functional thing that helps you with your computer. And it was developed by a company called Elgato. Back in 2015 or something like that, when they first put it together. And the whole idea was very, very simple. They wanted to have an interface so you could hit a button and do things when it comes to streaming, because there's a lot of things into play. Like, for instance, in my studio is pretty obscenely big. But in fact, let me show you. This is my studio right here, and I'm going to use my Stream Deck to show you a little bit about my studio. So, and I do a lot with my studio, whether it do live streams with you guys, or whether it be I do one-on-one interviews and produce some Zoom stuff and do some post-production and all that other stuff in this space. So over there is kind of the soundproof area where I do a lot of the vocals. I got my drums set. I got a little music area set up over here. We got the secondary backdrop and interview and whatever area over there. So lots of different areas in this big studio. You don't need this big of a studio. You can really condense it down to your desktop, and that's where something like a Stream Deck is going to really come in. Now, Elgato came out with this. There were a couple other companies that had Stream Decks out there. Or not Stream Decks, but functional keys. Basically, press a key, do a function. The one thing that Elgato really put into these Stream Decks was the LCD button. And what was really cool about that is you could change that button on a whim. You could put images onto it. You could put text into it. You could turn around and instead they started to make it so it could animate itself. So when you press a button, like a little guy could do a backflip, or whatever icon could make motion. You could set double buttons, so an on-off toggle type button. So you press the button, the Stream Deck button, and it says that it's on. You get a different color look of the button, and then you press the button again, and it says it's off, and then you get a different color and text of that button. So lots of cool things with this thing. Now I got my first Stream Deck, and really this let's see, that's this one, yeah. This Stream Deck this Stream Deck's the 32, but we'll go over here. This Stream Deck, this is actually my first Stream Deck that I ever bought, and I bought this in I want to say it's 2017. 15 buttons, and even back then, it changed the game when it came to doing any type of production, because I didn't have to have my hands on the mouse. And if you've ever done production with a mouse, you know that the mouse is sitting somewhere, and the first thing you have to do is find where'd that mouse go. So once you've played that game, where'd that mouse go, then you have to go into whatever software you're using and click on a screen, which, you know, like for instance, I'm clicking on the mouse right now, but I have to definitely see where I'm clicking so I know I'm clicking in the right area. However, with this, all of a sudden, I don't have to worry about that too much. A little bit of knowing where my fingers are, and I've got these buttons pretty down pat, so I can move things around and not even have to look at the Stream Deck while I'm pressing buttons. And the cool thing, the next cool part about this is that we can do different things, not only with the Stream Deck, but using other computers. As you might know, all of my streaming gear is modularized. Like this computer is handling one camera, one screen, and then of course sending it out to another computer that is actually streaming it out to you. When I do my graphics, like for instance, this graphic right here for Amazon.com/shop/Geekazine, that's done on a completely different computer. So if I didn't have a Stream Deck here, I'd have to have that other, and I do have the software or the other computers set up right there. So all I have to do is hit the button, and there I have. Whoops, I did the wrong one. So if I did this, you can see that there's the Amazon.com/shop/Geekazine, and that's not working the way I really want it to. But you get the idea. Is I don't have to mouse to it. Find where I need to mouse to, hit the button, because that completely just distracted me just to look at that area. Whereas for here, all I have to do is hit this button, and now my lower third. And if I hit the right button, then you get the right thing, Amazon.com/shop/Geekazine. So lots of things you can do, not just on your main computer with a Stream Deck, but on alternate computers. In fact, there are people that have Stream Decks hooked up to Raspberry Pis, and they use it that way, and then that'll go out to different devices. I got a camera behind me. That's this camera right here. And this is what's called a PTZ camera. Now, the cool thing about this PTZ camera is it'll turn left and right and up and down. As you can see, we have a couple scenes set up. This is the first scene right here, which goes to my 32-button Stream Deck, and then the second scene that goes to the overall Stream Decks. In fact, I should try and set up a third one where you're seeing my 15-button Stream Deck. Let's go to this one, and we'll zoom in a little bit so you can see that Stream Deck a little bit better. And I don't have it set up to save from here, so I'll have to use third-party software to do that. So I'm going to say that as scene 3, and I'll say save, and I'll close that out. Now, if I hit this button to go to 1, that's going to go here. I hit this button, go to 3, it's going to go there. But I could have easily have a save and recall button over here on this Stream Deck, which I probably should set up. Let's try. So basically we have all the Stream Deck stuff, and I even have another thing. It's my ATEM Mini. It's over here. There we go. My ATEM Mini. So when I show you what I'm 3D printing, in fact, let's show you what I'm 3D printing right now. This is a nice little wall piece that I'm making for Jennifer. And it's set up to a switcher that has 4 cameras attached to it. And this is camera 1. This is an overhead camera. We got camera 2, which is not placed right now, but as you can see, it's kind of artsy from there. We got camera 3, which you're seeing a side view of the print. Yes, that is a cat. And then, of course, the front view, where you could be seeing it from there. Now, all of that, I just controlled from down here. I can also, if I decide to stream from there, I can press that. I can hit the record button if I have a hard drive attached to it, which I don't now. I can go to the multi-view look. So if you come back here, we're back on multi-view, so you see all the cameras, but then we'll switch it back, and there we have the main program camera. Now, if I had an ISO Extreme, I could do things like super sources and all that stuff through that, and then use this controller. So that device, which is sitting in a completely different room, can be controlled without having to be close to me. And that's what's really cool about these Stream Decks, is just an amazing amount of buttons, amazing amount of options that are right at my fingertips. And all I have to do is hit a button, and then all of a sudden things have changed, and you get the idea. So lots of cool ways to set up a Stream Deck and go from there. And you don't need to have 3 Stream Decks. In fact, if you set up your Stream Deck right, just even the 6-button Stream Deck, because they do have that. They have a 32 button, they have a 15 button, and they have a 6-button Stream Deck. You press that 6-button Stream Deck, you can set up folders. So each one of those will go to another area, which will give you more buttons. Like for instance, on this, let's see, this Stream Deck, it'd be over here. This Stream Deck right here, we'll move this over, and we'll move this over. I have a folder which is sitting right there, and if I press that, as you can see, everything just changed on my Stream Deck. And I want to go back to the soundboard. I press that, and then boom. People are cheering, people are laughing, people are happy, and I've got everything at my fingertips. So let me show you how my main Stream Deck is set up. That's this 32 button. We'll zoom in a little bit so you can see it as best as possible. There we go. All right, as you can see, everything is down here and right at my fingertips. Over on the right side, this is where all my camera switches that go to the computer that you're seeing right now. So my main shot right here, I'll zoom in a little bit so you can see that. You can see the screen of the first Stream Deck, and then of course when I want to talk, have a lower picture-in-picture, I do that. And then we got to go back to the PTZ camera. Usually this is a secondary PTZ camera, but I want to show you the interface, which is right there. So I've changed that up. Fairly easy to do. And then, of course, I put my myself right next to that. And then nothing on this shot, but definitely we're seeing the ATEM Mini and my 3D printing actions on that shot. So everything is happening on this right side. I can also, when I'm on Zoom calls, I can also mute and unmute my microphone right here. I can set up, these two are all on, all off. And I haven't used these in a while, so let's see what happens. So I'm going to hit all off. I hit all on, and now everything's back on. So as you can see, I don't know if everything came on. Let me just make absolutely sure. Yeah, okay, perfect. That's there, and you can hear me. That's the audio. Okay, and then, of course, this is there. Okay. I haven't used that button in a long time, so I wasn't exactly sure how that was going to work, but it worked fine. It worked fine. I'll show you how to set that up. All right, coming back to here. I'm actually recording at the same time, so I've got the recording button on. I can stream from this machine. I'm not doing it right now, but I can definitely stream from machine and go from there. This is an extra button. Pressing it, it's pointless for you to understand what happens there. But then this one down here is kind of a little world time clock. I have a business partner that lives in New Zealand, and I know it's 6 a.m. tomorrow in New Zealand. So if I press the button, nothing happens. So I've got that functionality right there. And then over here is a really cool program that doesn't come with Elgato, but you can get it. It's called Bitfocus Companion, absolutely free. And what it does is it creates a web interface where you can add more buttons. This will add 99 pages worth of buttons, 15 buttons. And I love this because I can then transfer it from this Stream Deck over to this Stream Deck easily, just by hitting a button and going from there. So as you can see, I have just tons of stuff at my fingertips. And the cool thing about the Companion, I have the little pagination buttons. I can switch between the graphics. Now, keep in mind, I set this up with Companion back before. I think they didn't even have folders back then on the Stream Deck. So, but with the pages, I can do full partial as opposed to the whole screen changing, and be able to do that. I see a few people clicking on there. Thank you guys very much. I appreciate that. And we can hit that button again. I can now control this camera that's sitting behind me. Hit that button again. I can now control this camera, or this scene over here. Hit the button again. There's absolutely nothing except a Q button. I'm not sure what that button means to do, but I have 99 pages, and some of these have some fragments on there from updates of Companion, because Companion only worked on 15 button Stream Decks for a while, and then when the XLs came out, they updated the software. Now I could actually get this so it fills all these buttons up if I wanted to. You don't need Companion to run it. You can definitely use it. There's many different ways to use this without the Companion button. In fact, I have this one set up, like I showed you, with the folder system that allows me to do many different things. Plus, you have profiles. And what's cool about a profile is that if you open up a program, let's say I'm going from streaming to doing the editing of the video, I can have this set up so the second that I open up my video editor, the Stream Deck will realize it and change the profile to all the buttons I need to do my editing, like cutting scenes and pasting stuff and entering in lower thirds or anything like that. You can set up different options for it, and it really depends on what the program can do to allow that the Stream Deck can be allowed to do. It's mostly a hotkey editor. So if there's a Control V, Control S, Control whatever, or Command for Mac, Control, or Command V, C. That's the word. That's the letter I'm thinking of. C. Anyway, if there is a Control or Command C, Control or Command V, you can program that fairly easily on this thing. Now, you can do this with a regular keyboard too. There are ways and there are programs out there, but then you're dedicating your computer to all these hotkeys. And that's what I like about it. So I could hotkey a Control C, Control V, of course, or Command C or Command V, but having that button to do it at once, that's great. And then I can leave my keyboard to doing what the keyboard does, and that's type if I need to type. So, all right. So I said a lot about these. There's 3 different types. There's actually 4 different types. You have the 32 button. You have the 15 button. There's also a 6 button Stream Deck. And then there's you can get the app for your phone. And with the app for the phone, there's a subscription fee. So you'll have, but we're only concerned about these ones right here. So, but anyway, you can be able to control your computer, whether it be a Mac, a PC, Linux, Raspberry Pi, and anything, and you don't need to control it from the computer you're working on through different software. We won't get too much into that part of things, but we will get into how we can set up the Stream Deck for your needs. So by doing that, we're going to go over here. This is the Stream Deck software that I have for the main one. We'll go to the Excel here. And as you can see, as I'm pressing buttons, you can see that it's going to move with it. I can easily set up a new profile by going to the drop down and saying new profile. And look at that. I get a little welcome button. We'll just delete that. And boom, I've got a full Stream Deck. Now I don't have my buttons to switch back and forth, but I have a clean profile to work with if I want to. I'm going to go back to this one because I need to come. We'll do this. I will do boom. Oops, wrong one. I will do boom. There we go. Now we can go back to that new profile. So we had a new profile. There we are. Nothing on there. We'll hit delete. I think I just created another new profile. That's okay. Profile 2. Now we can actually populate stuff onto our Stream Deck. And that's where all this comes in. We've got many different options, and it comes with some defaults, and there's some stuff you have to load on. Like, for instance, any type of game capture. Keep in mind when you're doing this, when you're using this software, it works best in the Elgato environment. In fact, I think if I do this and I go like this, yeah, there we go. Boom. I got my other Stream Deck that'll control it now. So it can control any environment. I think that's where I was going. Where was I going? Oh, yeah. The game capture, the Stream Decks work with almost any environment. However, if you've got Elgato items, whether it be capture cards and lights and other stuff like that, it will work with it a lot better than it does with anything else, because a lot of these other things have to be programmed in. This one is basically, they're saying, okay, can we turn on and off the lights? Can we hit the records buttons? Can we do the screenshots and anything like that through the game capture? And yeah, so some of these buttons, if you're not using the Elgato, like for instance, the Elgato capture software, you probably won't be able to use things like screenshot or anything like that. I haven't used it in a while, so I'm not 100% sure if that's still the case. Let me find this. There we go. I'll bring this back here, and let's talk a little bit about this. So up in the game capture, you have scene, you have record, screenshot, flashback recording, stream, and live commentary. So a lot of this stuff, like I said, you'll need to have some Elgato stuff here. Let's just make sure. Let's hit this screenshot. Let's see what happens here. So as you can see, I could just drag that over to this button right here, and we have we have the editing area. Now this says please launch game capture, which is probably some program that you can get from Elgato. We don't have it, so I won't be able to use this button for anything. So if I hit this button, nothing's going to happen. But if you set it up right, you could probably do a screen grab of your video. So we'll delete that out since we don't have it. And now there's other stuff into this area, like for instance, the OBS Studio, the soundboard, which is one of the newer things. The Stream Deck, where you can create your buttons, your multi-button action, and your and a whole bunch of other stuff. You can turn on and off your computer. You can change the brightness. You can change the volume on your computer. We got the system stuff, and this is the hotkey. That's going to be a very useful one. So we'll bring that over here. We can do text. We can do multimedia if we want to. We can call up a website. We got, if you're into Twitter, you can tweet on stuff like that. Some of the Elgato stuff, we can set some brightness. We can turn things on and off. Set some color. Twitch Studio. Voice mod. This is something new for Elgato, where you can actually do a vocal changer. I haven't played with that too much. Then we have custom buttons, and this is where Companion comes in. And I'll show you how to get the Companion. This is not loaded directly onto the Stream Deck software. And I'll show you how to do that. Wirecast, once again, you have to load that on there. All this stuff underneath is stuff that you'll have to load. Now, to load it, it's fairly straightforward. All you have to do is up on top here, hit that button that looks like a little keyboardish thing, and it comes up to this page right here. This is the plugin manager, and there's a ton of plugins that you can get to control your Stream Deck, and these are absolutely free. Like for instance, if you want to see your CPU usage, all you have to do is hit the install button. It downloads it and installs it. And so in here, we should have somewhere, we should have a CPU button. Where did it go? Is it here? Maybe under custom? Yeah, there it is. Under custom, there's a CPU button. I'll bring that up here. And it's telling me that I'm at 20%, 22%. Pretty good on my CPU usage. It doesn't do anything. Well, maybe it does. Oh, it brings up Task Manager. That's pretty cool. So so I can put that button on there. We can go back into the icons, and we can find some other software, whether you're using, I use Wirecast, so I'll have that. If you use vMix has one. If you use that, OBS has, of course. If you use that, if you don't use it for, if you use it for After Effects, here's an After Effects icon pack here. We got Twimoji systems for Twitter's emoji. Emojis. So as many different to emojis. Oh, those are the icons. That's why that looked weird. So these are different types of icons you can get, images, because on any of these buttons, we'll just move this over here. Any of these buttons, you can change the image simply by saying set from a file, or you can even create a new icon and open up the icon library, which allows you to choose any of these icons instead. So like we could say, okay, I don't want that icon. Let's do this one. Boom, like that. And now that button is completely changed. You can create your own icon. It's fairly easy. I've done it myself. In fact, when you see my main profile, boom, when I switch all these buttons on the main camera from here to here to here, all of these buttons are custom images, and they've got text on them to tell me a little bit about what they're going to do. So you can completely update these buttons to do whatever you want to do, however you want to do it. Fairly easy, fairly straightforward through that interface. So lots of plugins. You might want to check, a lot of programs have put in plugins. Some of them will run via hotkey, so you'll need like a Control-C, Control-V type stuff. Some of them have them integrated into the system, so you don't have to worry about hotkeys, and that's the best part. When Wirecast did that, it saved me a whole ton of time, because in Wirecast you can set up hotkeys. So I can say Control-1, and that'll go to this scene. Control-2 goes to this scene, so on and so forth. And then I had to set up the Stream Deck to do those hotkey controls. And then I also had to set it to say, hey, this is for Wirecast. So if I'm in if I'm in Chrome or something like that, and I hit that button, it's not going to affect Chrome. It's only going to affect Wirecast. Well, they did away with all of that, so I could actually use this button system for the program that I'm working with. And so some of these programs have that ability. Not all of them. This is not something that Stream Deck can do. This is something that third-party program that you're using the Stream Deck to control, they need to do that, and then create a profile that they can use in here. So Zoom, one of my favorite ones is Zoom, because it does have that mute and unmute option, and video on and off. I do a lot of Zoom calls, and these buttons are very helpful in setting up different things. You can do a lot of things. In fact, if we'll go over to the Zoom, I'll move this out of the way. We'll go over to the Zoom options here, and you can mute your video, you can mute your audio, you can share the screen, you can bring the Zoom window to the front, leave a meeting, you can do a record, cloud record, you can do a local record, you can ask all to unmute, and of course this depends on if you are hosting a meeting or being a participant. Some of these buttons will not work. So, or custom shortcuts. And you can put this all into a button configuration, which when you open up Zoom, those buttons will be available to use. Let's see, we got this little NVIDIA shadow play right there, counter, track the number of times you press a key. So you can kind of watch that little YouTube, Twitch, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, all the socials have these options in here. You got disco visual effects. Let's see what that does. I'm going to install that. Disco visual effects. Now keep in mind, when you do this, you're pretty much filling up your computer with more programs, and they do run in the background. So if you've got a lower end computer, you might want to keep your buttons basic. But if your computer's can handle it, go to town. Just keep that in mind. So if you have any problems, sometimes it could just be the fact you have too many installs on your Stream Deck going. So custom disco visual effects contains pre-configured profile. Let's install the profile. Let's see what happens there. All right, let's move this out of the way. Let's go to this pre-configured profile called Disco XL. I'm not sure, it's completely blank. and nothing's happening on the buttons. So let's see what we got here. Did we get a disco button thing? I don't see anything for disco. Let's go back to the customs. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure what the Disco XL will do. Let's go back to Wirecast. So I'll probably, let's go ahead and uninstall that. There we go. And it might be that I have to restart my Stream Deck to make that happen. But yeah, I don't want too much stuff in here. Here's the companion buttons for the Bitfocus AS companion buttons, which you can set up for more button options. And the cool thing about this is, you, like I said, you can control other computers, and you can also set a lot of different things. Like for instance, I could set up through Companion, I could set up a system where it turns on all of my computers inside the house if I have things set up that way. Or let's say I start streaming, I can have one button that I press that, and all of a sudden everything opens up to the point where I can just get ready to go on and stream. There are people that are using Companion way beyond what I do, because there's a ton of programs that this can control. And they got a full list in there. We have, once again, doing Zoom calls. We're working on making Zoom calls so they don't look and feel like Zoom calls too much. They're high-end broadcast productions. So these devices, through Companion, will be able to control that and do multiple functions. Like for instance, you can set up a Companion button to bring up this shot or this shot, and then maybe a lower third that passes by with your name. Maybe another graphic, and maybe after about 10 seconds it goes back here. Maybe after about 10 seconds it goes back here. You get the idea. So it has a little bit of control, so you can hit one button and do a lot of different things. Musicians will be using it to change a patch on their keyboard if they have their keyboard hooked up to the computer running something like an Ableton Live or a GarageBand or anything like that. So then it'll flip from like a piano sound to an organ sound halfway through the song, so they don't have to worry about pressing that button. Or let's say you want to do something in I don't know, you're doing some photo editing and you want to go through the gamut, or in Adobe you can do a lot of, or Resolve, you can do a lot of stuff, but you have to go from tab to tab to tab. So you can actually say, okay, copy this, paste this, go to this tab, do this, go here, do this, go here, do this. And all you have to do is press one button. And that's what's pretty cool about that. So, all right. So we have the plugins in here. We have the icons. The other thing I want to show you is the sound effects, because yes, now this can actually be a soundboard. In fact, I have a soundboard set up here. When I do these cheers and I do some of the music, that it comes from here, the computer sound. These are all royalty free and fully available for your live stream, for your for whatever you're doing. So you want to check it out. If you decide that, hey, I'm going to make this for commercial, you might have to check with them to make sure that that's okay. But for the most part, all these sounds are ready to use to download. And let me show you how easy it is to download one. So we're going to go over here, and we got what, a shine ding. I don't know if you heard that. Let's do that again. Oh, you didn't hear that. That's right. Okay. And I know why you didn't hear that, because I have to do this. Hold on a second. Now you should be able to hear it. There you go. So we have the shine ding. So we'll just download that. It's going to be fairly easy to download, fairly quick. I believe these are WAV files. So now I have this audio right here. Let's move this out of the way. Let's go back to our new profile here. And then we're going to go to the soundboard, and we're going to say play audio. We're going to give it a title. We'll go ding like that. And then we're going to find the file. We'll hit that button, and that should come to all the the audio folder, and there's our shine ding. We're just going to double click on that. There we are. We're going to say action, play or stop. Do we want to fade? No fade, but we can. A volume, I'm going to bring the volume down here. And then the output. Now, since it goes in through the computer in a different way, I'm going to move this and set this up as, where is it? My VB cable. I'm missing it. There it is. So now, when I hit this button, you'll hear ding. Simple as that. I can't hear it. But if I was to do this, now I can. You heard an echo. I apologize for that. But as you can see, I can do that multiple times. And I've now got a ding on there. So what's the easiest way to get to this? Yes, use your Stream Deck. Absolutely. That's perfect. So good job. Get a cheer for me. All right. So we got the soundboard. We can also, there is also some royalty-free music. So we'll go over here and we'll do look at some deep thoughts. Okay, we'll leave it at that. Actually, I downloaded one already. This music right here, which I have in a button. So I can bring that music in just by going over to play audio, trying to remember what the song was, and we'll just go to the file really quick. Corporate Heart Stream Deck Audio. That's what it is. We'll do play and stop. We can also choose to play or overlap, which means that it'll play itself over and over again, kind of echo-ish out, or restart, or loop and stop. So when it gets to the end, it'll just loop back to the beginning and do that. We're just going to do a play stop. We'll bring this down to about, let's say about 20%. And then, of course, we're going to bring it through my system so you can hear it. And now when I press this button, you will see right there. Oops. I don't have it all set up. Think here. So let me just flip this back here really quick. Go like that, and then go back to the profile. That's not perfect. But anyway, you can hear the music. Let me stop the music here. So now if we go back to here, if I press this button, notice how it's got a little graphic going, a little wave graphic while the music's playing. That way you know that it's playing. And then I can hit that button again and it stops. If I have the overlap or loop, it won't stop. Well, the loop will stop, but the overlap might not. So keep in mind that that could cause a really weird infinite loop, and if you're using that. But if you understand that, then you can set that up for your needs, and that's what's really cool about this. So, all right, so we have all those buttons. We have this set up. We can do different programs. I can actually also set this up to open up a program. So let's see. Let's say I think it's in Stream Deck here. Let's go over to here. I'll just have to use these buttons really quick. Okay, go over here, and then I'll say I want to open up where. Oh, here's a cool one. Switch profile. Let's do that one. So I'm going to bring this button in over here. What's really cool about this is I can now set up a profile with this button in the corner. So let's say I want to go back and forth between this and the other profile. I can set this. I can set it to that specific one, or just say next profile. I want to go to the specific one. So now when I press this button, boom, look at that. All of my buttons are back on my Stream Deck without having to come over here and say profile. So that adds to a whole bunch of new things that you can do, because I could actually put this on every single profile and have this down in the corner and either go to next profile or a different profile, and then have a whole bunch of new buttons to play with. So now 15 becomes 144, becomes infinite number. As many profiles as you can make, and as many different buttons that you can make. Now, I told you that there's a way to make folders, and let me show you how to do that. So we're going to do that, and I should have switched over first. Okay, now we're back here. You can create a folder, I'll bring that up here. The cool thing about the folder, you click on that, and that takes you to a different screen. You can't use this first button because that takes you back to the original screen. But I can go like this. We'll just do this. We'll take the sounds. We're going to copy them, and then we'll paste this here, and then we'll copy. Did I do the ding? I can't remember. Do the copy, and we'll do the paste. And now I can delete them from my main profile to keep that cleaner. So this first profile can become an interface to where I need to go. I have this actually over on my the smaller Wirecast. Whoops. The Stream Deck here. So as you can see, I have a bunch of different buttons, and a lot of these are folders. If I double click on apps, I have my Adobe apps, I have Reaper, I have Excel, Wirecast, vMix, and some of the other things that I can use. Bring it up here. My soundboard folder is right there. And in here, I can play that music. I can play a cat sound if I want to. That would be this sound right here. Or maybe some crickets. You know, things like that. So that can turn it into full soundboard. And then I have specific ones if I want to use Wirecast. There's all my buttons for Wirecast that I moved over. And moving it over from the 32 button to the 15 button and back, this is basically copy, change profile, paste. And you'll be able to switch that back and forth. So lots of function for this device. And even more with 5.0, with this area right here, this software that's part of it, you can do a whole ton more. And that's what I really, really like about this program, is you have multiple options. And with this, as you can see, we have the one Stream Deck, but I have 3 Stream Decks here. 2 of these are on one computer. This one's on this computer. So if I need to switch up to the other Stream Deck, I can do so. I go back here, I can refresh the page through a button. And all of these are on stands, so you can take the stands off. These newer ones, the difference between the older one and the newer one is basically how it looks. You can see the stand down here. Let me zoom over to that so you can see that a little bit better. Like that, and we'll bring that up. So this is an older stand. So this Stream Deck can come off. It's got a USB-A cable to it. Oops. It's got a USB-A cable to it. And the cable does not detach from this older Stream Deck. So if that doesn't bother you, it's not a big deal. The newer Stream Deck has a USB-C cable behind it. That is detachable. And then, of course, this is a magnetic backing stand, which pops right out, right there. I just have to be a little careful since it's kind of weaved into the cable there. But I can also put little overlays on it. So like if I'm playing Call of Duty or something like that, there's probably a Call of Duty interface plate that I can put right on top of that and be able to have it, my gaming thing. Because this works really well with gaming. You know how they sell those half keyboards and mouse? This can actually change that half keyboard, because you can have your fingers on these buttons just as well as you do on a keyboard. And then you can set it up the way that you want. So, I think it's like WASX or something like that. That's up, down, left, right, or whatever. You can now set these on buttons here. And then have some more cool. So you can have videos pass through there and graphics and all that other good stuff. So did you zoom with the stream? Do I zoom? Yes, absolutely. Like I said before, there is a zoom option. Thank you for the question there, Foamy. There is a zoom plugin that you can install, and with the zoom plugin, let me speaking of zooming into things, you can't see it on this one because it's just too bright. But right here is a zoom mute, and right here is a video mute. So I can I can leave the Zoom meeting. Let me change this so you can see this a little bit better. So that's too much. There we go. There we go. Now you can see it. So as you can see, there's a little microphone that can zoom, that can mute audio. This can mute the video. I can leave a Zoom meeting. There's cloud record, regular record. I can mute all. And then I don't remember what these buttons are for, but these are all Zoom buttons. So OBS plugin. Well, that's one of the things is Elgato was based off of OBS. So when you get the software downloaded, the OBS Studio software, excuse me, is right there. And whatever that doesn't supply, you can do custom commands right from there. Tatiana goes, this is great. Yeah, it's absolutely great. It's one of the best things to have for whatever you're doing. And I'm not talking streaming video. If you got any program where you're doing something repetitive, you can create functions and keystrokes and everything like that. Like for instance, I could take the text in the chat, in the William Shatner, and I can say, let's do that. Let's go over here. So now I'll go back over to Excel, and I'll go back over to Profile 2. And I'll go, where's the text? It's under System. Yeah, there it is. System right there. And we'll do that. I'm going to say text, and it's going to say, hello. Don't forget to follow me. Thank you. Now, and in order for you to see this, you got to go over to amazon.com/live and go to my page where the William Shatner is. But if you go over there, let's see, do I have my, let's set it up really quick. Hold on, give me a second. I'm going to do a little infinite looping here. This will only take a minute. There I am. And there's my chats. So now I'll bring it up on the screen. This will do an infinite here. So there's the chats. So now if I hit that text, if I go over here and I hit that text button, there you go. Hey, don't forget to follow. Thanks. So now I've created a button. So I don't have to type that whole thing in. I can hit that button and go from there. And I have it set so it doesn't have to be through the Amazon chat. So if I stream to other services, I can bring it in there and send it out to different systems like I just did. Foamy goes sweet. The other thing about this, and I don't do too much on this, if you do a lot of Twitch gaming, you can set up some really cool graphics and really cool things. So in the, do I have the Twitch stuff? Yeah, Twitch Studios in here. I think that's this. There we go. So the Twitch Studio stuff is in here. And if you want to mute and unmute video, audio, show or hide a layer, select a scene, start or end recording or streaming, you've got all these options right here. Plus, what a lot of people will do is they set it up so when new people start to follow you, that'll pop up on the screen. I don't do that type of stuff, so you don't see that from me. But you have a lot of options, a lot of ways to kind of enhance this thing, from the graphics, like the graphics that I show, to a lot more. Thanks to the Amazon customer that started following, by the way. And be able to go from there. Now, once again, you have technically four options. We're going to talk about three of them. The first one is the 32-button Stream Deck. It's called the Stream Deck XL, and 32 buttons. It's like the toilet paper. You know how they say 12 equals 96? 32 buttons equals an infinite amount of buttons. You have the 15-button Stream Deck, where 15 buttons can equal infinite number of buttons. And then I don't have the 6-button. Let me just pull it up here. They also have the 6-button Stream Deck. And this is great. You can put it right next to your keyboard and mouse, so have it very close by. And 6 buttons, a little bit more limited. I'm not going to say infinite on this one. But I suppose if the top 3 lines can be folders, bottom 3 lines can be profiles. You'll be able to emulate a lot of buttons just with these 6 buttons right here. So as you can see, you have many different options. And I was going to show the other thing, which I'm going to be doing an unboxing of very soon. This is the face cam. Let's talk about this for a second. The Elgato came out with the face cam, and it just showed up on Amazon. This is their USB camera option. I have it sitting over here ready to unbox, and we'll be doing that, I believe, tomorrow, but we'll see what happens. It might be next week. The whole idea is that this hooks up in here and helps you can start using the Stream Deck with the control to control this camera. So that adds to the value here, because that's part of the Elgato, the walled garden type thing. So you'll be able to really tighten up your streams. So if you're doing any type of gaming streams, if you're doing any type of something that I'm doing right now type streams, you're good to go. You just press one button, be done with it, and go from there. I could go on all day on this. There's a lot more. I've only scratched through the surface, and like I said, I only briefly talked about the companion software that you can get with this to do the graphics, like my lower thirds and things like that. Completely different machine. I just queued it up by pressing a button here, and yeah, go from there. So, and if you haven't followed me, hey, go ahead and follow me, amazon.com/shop/Geekazine. If you're watching live over on Amazon, amazon.com/live, there's that follow button right there. Please go ahead and press that. I appreciate that very much. Otherwise, Geekazine is where you can find me over at Geekazine. Think magazine, put in a geek, and you got me. There's the page right there. We got a lot of video. We got a lot of pictures. We got a lot of links. So if you've got any questions, feel free to contact me in any way, shape, or form. I'll try and answer it from there. Foamy says followed. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Another thing we're going to be working on is some contests. So that's another important reason to follow me, is because then you'll know when the next set of contests come in. And we're going to try and do a giveaway at the end of the year, and then giveaway during these shows. And that's going to be coming up in the upcoming weeks. So feel free to connect up and follow me, and let's get going, because we got, Black Friday's coming up, and I'm going to be scouring the links here for the best deals for you guys. And we got some great unboxings over here. If you haven't seen any of the unboxings that I've done over on the page, just scroll down a little bit. Here's all the videos. We did the Luna. Gaming with a Luna and a Fire TV Cube. Awesome. The Withings, Pulse HR, and the Move Watch. I unboxed those. This is a really cool fidget puzzle I have sitting over there. You could probably see it in frame. I'm a Rubik's Cube fan. A lot of my 3D printing stuff, as you can see, this 3D print is going along swimmingly. I'm glad it failed a couple times, but it's now... looks like it's printing really well. You can kind of see what it is now, and having some fun with that. And we'll be talking 3D prints. We'll be talking, we're going to bring back the Adobe stuff. So we'll have I think it's Adobe Tuesdays once again. So definitely check on there. Modern Day Family Man, good to see you again. I hope you're doing a lot of live streaming. Let me know. And thanks to the Amazon customer who started following here. So what do you recommend for a Twitch OBS live streamer? 6-button or 15? I always recommend the 32, but I think that the 15 button is probably the best. 6-button, I say the 6-button is perfect for anybody if you have a very specific need for the 6-button. But 15 buttons, you'll be able to do a lot of stuff. 15 buttons will equal, just with the folder system, 144 different button options with one profile. Switch the profiles, and then the sky's the limit. This 15 button also has an older version and a newer version. And I think, and sometimes it's a little bit less for the older version. And of course, it really depends on how you want to set up your Stream Deck. If you need that detachable USB cable or not. If that doesn't bother you, then the older Stream Deck is perfect. It's not like as far as I know, there's no new electronics in between the two that will make it, the older one obsolete before the newer one. It's just the USB cable and the redesigned look so you can get the skins and things like that. So is your link for the newer version. That's the cool thing about this link right. Whoops, this link right. Where is it? There it is, right there. That's the coolest thing about this link right here, is if you go to the page and then you scroll down just a little bit, you can see you can switch it to the 15 key old, 15 key new, 32 key, or the 6 key, just like that. So that one link pretty much does it all. We'll go back to the next gen. There we go. There it is. So 15 button is the best starter one. And then if you need more buttons, like I said, they do have an app that you can get you can get more buttons for there. But the link is for the link is for either or, new or old. You can choose which one you decide to get. And they're both new. It's not like the old ones they stopped making them. So I would guess you could get as new as last year, but the newer ones are great too. And there's really no difference between the two. So you are very welcome. And I'd like to thank you for asking the questions. I appreciate that very much. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me at any time, whether day or night. You can do it through Amazon, or you can do it through any channel. Geekazine, Think Magazine, Put in a Geek. That's me. And there's all my socials right there, including Amazon.com/shop/Geekazine. That's where you can go to follow. Feel free to hit that follow button right down there, and then you'll get updated when I am on next live. And I'm going to try and get on live on a daily basis for the next few weeks. The big trip is in October, and we're going to Orlando. I'm going to be speaking at a conference, and then we're going to get on a Disney cruise, and we're going to do some Disney stuff. And I'm going to be doing some Disney stuff on live streams in the coming weeks as well. So, all right, that does it for me. I'd like to thank you guys very much. Remember, go over to Amazon.com/live. Check out some of my friends here. We'll go over to live streams. We'll do that. I got many different friends that are live streaming. And when you follow people, you'll have the creators you follow. Lon is streaming right now. He's testing out the BenQ GV30 projector. We have Healthy Lad with Spencer right now. There's me live. So I'm live right now. And then check out David over at Utechpia. He's just killing it. And he's got some great giveaways as well. Just got done talking with Melody, and she's doing home good. She just did some home good essentials. So go ahead and check out some of these other live streamers and support their channels as well. And as I'm going to be doing, I'm going to be going across the line and saying hi to these people and go from there. So, all right. Well, thanks a lot for watching. Thanks a lot for listening. We'll see you next time. You guys geek out and take care. You've been watching Geek Tech Talk Live. I'm Jeffrey Powers. Good day, mate.